Nearly 100 of the state's brightest young minds came together in the capital city recently, competing to represent Louisiana at the National Geographic Bee in Washington, D.C. Southern Ed Desk reporter Sue Lincoln maps out our competition.
Lumbering is one of the main economic activities in Coeur d'Alene, a city located in what western state?
Know the answer? More than a few of Louisiana's 4th through 8th graders do. It's Idaho. And that's just one of the questions posed to the 97 school-level champions at the State Geography Bee. The event's coordinator and MC, Jay Grimes, explains how they were selected.
Hundreds of kids take a test each year to qualify to come here. Only the top 100 are invited.
Grimes, a Baton Rouge area TV weatherman, holds a master's degree in geography. For the past 5 years, he's been heavily involved with organizing Louisiana's participation in the National Geographic Bee.
The National Geographic Bee is a program that's been running now. This is in its 24th year, and Louisiana is one of those states that's participated in all 24 years.
Once at the Bee, the kids are given another series of tests with all the questions composed by the National Geographic Society. The top 10 finishers then take the stage and go through several more rounds of testing.
This really is about selecting Louisiana's best and putting them up against the nation's best.
Louisiana's top youth geographer heads to Washington, D.C. in May to compete against representatives from each of the other 49 states and kids from 3 U.S. territories. And there's a substantial reward awaiting the national champion.
The all-around national winner gets a $25,000 college scholarship, and his family gets a trip to the Galapagos.
The runners-up also receive scholarships, $15,000 for second place, $10,000 for third. Baton Rouge Mayor Kip Holden, a former state senator, was in attendance at the state championship. He says the competition is tough, but that's a lesson in and of itself.
It's a way to keep encouraging young people. Don't give up. One young man that I met today did not make it last year, but yet there was something pushing him inwardly that says you have to go back out and try again.
This is Louis Uhalt, an 8th grader from Isidore Newman School in New Orleans. This was his first trip to the state championship.
I thought I would lose in the first preliminary round, so I'm pretty excited that I got to the top 10.
Uhalt says he's tried to qualify for the state bee before, but, in his own words, didn't study hard enough.
There were a lot of people smarter than me at our school, so I lost pretty quickly.
Uhalt says he buckled down and studied much harder this time, and he made it. 75% of the contestants in this year's state championship were boys, and the top 10 ended up being an all-male panel. The competition was tough.
You will have 15 seconds to respond.
And the questions kept getting harder.
Commercial trucks cross the U.S.-Mexican border at Nogales. In what U.S. state?
New Mexico.
The correct answer is Arizona. I'm sorry.
2 strikes, 2 wrong answers, and the boys were eliminated. Finally, it came down to 2, Louis Uhalt and Anthony Stoner, the state champion for the previous 2 years.
What body of water connects the Gulf of Oman with the Persian Gulf?
The Arabian Sea.
The Strait of Hormuz.
The Strait of Hormuz is correct, and Anthony Stoner, 8th grader from Jesuit High in New Orleans, is the state Geography Bee champion once again. He says he thinks he could go all the way in Washington this time.
The first time I got something in the 30s, I don't really know. And then last time I got top 20, around 17th, I think.
Anthony had perfect scores on the school-wide tests and at the state bee. With that kind of record and his prior experience at the national level, he could become Louisiana's first ever national champion. For the Southern Education Desk, I'm Sue Lincoln.
Now, as the state champion, Anthony won $100 and a complete collection of National Geographic videos. Sponsors have also provided airfare for the Stoner family to go with Anthony to the national competition in Washington, D.C. That's being held May 22nd through the 24th.
That's right, and we wish them all the luck in the world. The Southern Education Desk is a partnership among public radio and television stations across the Gulf South. We're delving into a wide range of educational issues from kindergarten through 12th grade and higher ed. For more information, log on to southerneddesk.org.